All right, so get this. We're going deep on Bill Gates, but not the usual, like, computer genius thing.
Right.
This is more like what really happened.
Yeah.
You know, mentors, crazy chances, even some, well, teenage trouble.
Yeah, a bit of mischief.
Exactly. Stuff that shaped him. Bet you think you know this story.
You might be surprised.
Big time. Trust me.
Bill Gates' path, it wasn't like, boom, instant tech superstar.
Right.
Not at all. It's more like this winding road, unexpected turns everywhere.
Interesting. So not Silicon Valley start?
Nope. Starts at a school.
Yeah.
Not even near a lake, funny enough. Lakeside School, Seattle.
Lakeside.
Okay.
Not exactly, tech central.
Right. So young Bill there, total fish out of water.
I could see it.
Lakeside was like, picture those East Coast prep schools, perfect lawns, traditions,
Ugh.
big on like well-roundedness, grades, sports, the whole deal. Bill didn't quite fit.
More of a rebel.
Kinda. He even like pushed back against their whole gold star ideal.
What was that? The gold star?
Or their big thing. Be perfect, basically.
Ah, got it. So friction. With teachers, I bet.
Oh, yeah. Especially Mr. Anderson, geography teacher. Also, head of athletics. Fun fact.
Oh.
Not your normal geography class. Bad quiz grade. Push-ups. Wrong answer. Football's flying. Intense.
Seriously. Did Bill, shape up
Yeah.
with that tough approach?
Not really. Kept goofing off. Skipping assignments. Lots of push-ups, though. But one thing did get to him.
What happened?
Mr. Anderson, right. He pairs Bill up with the kid who had the absolute lowest grade. Group project.
Oof, that's gotta sting.
Right. Bill saw himself through the teacher's eyes, and it wasn't pretty. He tried to fix it, though. Wrote this massive report all about the Black Sea.
Making up for it, huh?
Thought so. Figured big report, good grade. Nope. Expectations were higher now. Still got a bad grade.
Rough. So not a great academic year.
Nah. And to top it off, yearbook time. Bill leaves this message. Wow, you teachers are something to forget. Goodbye. Totally misunderstood, feeling frustrated. But here's where it gets interesting. Hidden in the school newspaper, tiny announcement, math department's getting a computer.
Okay, not just ANY computer, right.
Yeah.
Back then.
No way. This was a teletype machine. Connected Lakeside to a computer all the way in California via a phone line. Time sharing, they called it.
Time sharing, what's that?
Super groundbreaking. One computer, tons of users all at once, from different places.
Whoa, but did anyone even know how to use a computer back then?
Good point. Even at Lakeside, no one, teachers included, had much experience.
Right.
But Lakeside had this thing, few rules. They were all about try it out, see what happens, figure it out.
So plant the seed, watch it grow.
Exactly. And grow it did. But before we get there, gotta introduce another player, Bill's best friend, Kent Evans.
Oh, yeah, Kid Evans. What was HE like?
Fascinating guy. Tall, quiet, super focused, had a cleft lip, but didn't care about, social stuff. What really made him stand out? Total dedication to his passions, especially politics.
Politics.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right. This was 1968. America was exploding. Vietnam War, assassinations, everything. Kent was all in, especially on the election. Huge Humphrey supporter. Even marked his quizzes in French class using, get this, candidate initials.
No way.
Yep. Nixon's initial if you got it wrong, Humphrey's if right.
Wow. Hardcore. So how'd they become friends? Bill and Kent. So different.
It was a camping trip. School trip, actually. They pitched their tent way too close to the ocean, woke up, seawater flooding in.
Oh, no.
Talk about bonding. From then on, inseparable, talking for hours, feature plans, biographies, everything. Kent had this clear vision where he wanted to be. Bill, not so much yet.
Still figuring it out.
Totally. Then that computer arrives.
Game changer.
Absolutely. One day, math teacher takes them to McAllister House, where the computer was, making this weird chugging sound. Older kids just huddled around it, totally mesmerized. First glimpse into, this whole new world.
But knowing how to use it, that's the big hurdle.
Right. No YouTube tutorials back then. Programming was a mystery. Even the teachers were clueless. Luckily, Lakeside had some, forward-thinking teachers. Bill Dougal, head of math. He was key.
Another important character, huh?
Huge. Former Navy pilot, aeronautical engineer, embodied Lakeside's whole, explore spirit, saw the computer's potential even if he didn't know how to unlock it.
And getting the computer in the first place?
Yeah.
That must have been tough.
You wouldn't believe it. The money came from the Lakeside Mothers Club.
Seriously?
Yep, rummage sale. Raised enough to buy that computer.
No way. Cutting-edge tech from a rummage sale.
It's crazy. Shows you how much they believed in, giving kids access to the future. And there was Fred Wright, too, another math teacher.
Yeah.
Young guy, totally hands-off teaching style, gave the students basically free reign in the computer room.
Just figure it out kind of thing.
Exactly. That freedom. It was huge for Bill and his friends, but there was still one piece missing. The key to, like, unlocking the computer's magic.
Okay, I'm hooked. What was it? This missing piece.
BASIC. Beginner's all-purpose symbolic instruction code. A programming language. Made for beginners on purpose.
Makes sense.
Simple commands, easy to understand. Compared to the other languages back then, BASIC was like a breath of fresh air.
So how did it change the way they, like, approach programming, Bill and his friends?
It gave them this, like, framework for logical thinking, breaking down huge problems into smaller steps. It wasn't just about commands, it was about the logic behind it. Bill got it right away.
So BASIC was more than just a language.
Way more. It was a way of thinking. He started small, adding numbers,
Yeah.
but quickly moved on, made a tic-tac-toe game, and it wasn't just games either.
Right.
Even at that level, programming taught them valuable stuff. Thinking logically, attention to detail, problem solving, things regular school didn't always do.
Interesting. So the computer room became, like, more than just a classroom.
Oh, yeah. It was their hangout, this, like, breeding ground for competition, but also collaboration, working together.
That's where Paul Allen comes in, right?
Bingo. 2 years older than Bill, saw a chance to push him, but also help him grow.
I like that. So tell me about Paul. What was he like?
Total character. Called himself a Renaissance man, loved music, technology, everything. He'd always be, like, poking at Bill, math problems, chess, whatever.
Well, friendly rivalry that
Yeah.
often leads to great things.
It did. Not just Bill and Paul either. Kent was there, and Paul's friend Rick Wyland. They were like this awesome foursome, always pushing each other to code better, faster.
I bet they made some cool stuff.
Oh, tons. Casino program, taught the computer to play Monopoly, even made a random sentence generator. Early AI, basically.
Whoa. So they went from, like, basic commands to seriously complex programs pretty fast.
Yep. And remember, back then, one computer sharing it, writing code on paper first, it was hardcore. Shows their passion, for sure.
Totally. And that's when things at Lakeside take another crazy turn.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Enter Mrs. Rona, Tom Rona's mom.
Okay.
French resistance veteran
Wow.
and a computer expert.
Yeah.
Became Bill's, like, unlikely mentor.
Hold on. French resistance Andy computers. How did she even get involved with Bill and all this programming stuff? French resistance, computers, mentoring Bill Gates. Okay, I need details. How did that even happen?
Bill couldn't shut up about programming, even carpooling. He'd be, like, in his own world, coding problems in his head.
Obsessed. I get it.
Mrs. Rona, she knew computers, right? Picked up on it right away, started asking him questions. Real conversations, not just small talk.
She saw something special.
Totally. And guess what? She was involved in this new company. Time sharing, like they were doing at Lakeside, but bigger. C-Cubed, they called it. Computer Center Corporation.
C-Cubed. Okay. What were they trying to do?
Make computing power, like, available to businesses. Around Seattle, they'd lease this huge computer, PDP-10, from Digital Equipment.
Big upgrade from the teletype.
Oh, yeah. This thing was, like, filled a whole room. Way more power, memory, everything. For Bill and his friends, it was like going from 0 to 60.
I can imagine. But I'm sure there were, growing pains starting a company like that.
One big one. Software. Back then, it was buggy, crashed all the time. Before C-Cubed could launch, they had to test it like crazy. That's where the monkeys with hammers come in.
Monkeys with hammers. Okay. I'm lost.
Basically, they needed people to try and break the system, find the bugs, the glitches.
And who better to do that than a bunch of teenagers?
Right. Tech savvy, tons of energy, and desperate for more computer time. It was perfect. Mrs. Rona went to Lakeside with an offer they couldn't refuse. Free access to C-Cube's PDP-10 if they helped test it.
So instead of causing trouble, they're hunting for bugs. That's a pretty cool trade-off.
It was an amazing opportunity. One Saturday, Bill's dad drops him off at C-Cubed. Old Buick dealership turned into this tech wonderland. Rows of teletypes, just like at Lakeside, but connected to this powerhouse computer. Bill and his friends, they were in heaven.
So how did this, shape them as programmers?
It was huge. From limited time at school to basically unlimited time on a top-of-the-line machine. But it wasn't just messing around. They had a job. Find those bugs. Push the system hard. Try weird commands. See what breaks it. And every time something went wrong, they had to write it all down.
So bug hunters. basically.
Yeah.
Getting real-world experience.
Exactly. They had to think about how software works, how to spot problems, explain them, learning critical thinking, problem solving, dealing with tough stuff, skills that would like define their careers later on.
And not just the technical stuff, right? They were seeing how computers could, like, change the world.
Remember, C-Cubed was a business. Their PDP-10 was doing real work for companies. Bill and his friends saw it firsthand. Accounting, data processing, even early business analytics.
Like that sparked their, like, entrepreneurial side.
Big time. They saw, hey, we can make our own WN software, solve real problems with this stuff. It wasn't just theory anymore. It was about doing stuff that mattered.
So, technical skills, and those soft skills. Teamwork, communication, problem solving, all the stuff you need to, like, build a company.
And what really made them different, the way they worked together, the whole culture.
What do you mean? What was so special about it?
No classes at C-Cubed. No one telling them what to do. They were on their own, figuring it out together, sharing code, arguing about solutions, pushing each other to learn more. That collaborative spirit, it became the heart of, like, the early tech scene. It wasn't just about being a genius, it was about growing together.
So not just the code, but the whole community they built. Sharing, competing, all of it.
And remember those late night talks Bill and Kent had, analyzing famous leaders?
They were obsessed with figuring out, like, the secrets to success.
At C-Cubed, those talks changed. They started seeing themselves as entrepreneurs, building their own future, started reading about business, finance, marketing, expanding their knowledge beyond just the tech stuff.
So their ambitions grew. It wasn't just about coding anymore.
Exactly. They wanted to build something big, and their energy, that teenage, like, mischievous side,
Right.
it played a role in their first business venture. They saw a chance to make money, sure, but also have some fun.
Okay, now I got to know, what was it? This first business. Spill the beans. All right, I'm all ears. What was this first business idea? Coding ACE-ND teenage energy. Sounds like a recipe for, well, something interesting.
Lakeside Programmers Group, that was the name. And their first big thing, a program for scheduling classes at their own school.
Wait, seriously? They, like, automated the whole school schedule? As teenagers?
Yep. Saw a chance to make things, more efficient. And maybe, just maybe, get themselves into better classes. Classic teenage thinking.
I love it. But how they even do it? Like, the actual process?
They gathered all the info, student names, what classes they wanted, teacher schedules, the whole 9 yards, then wrote this program to sort it all out, make the best schedule possible, even things like, student requests, how many kids could fit in a class. Complicated stuff.
Sounds way beyond, like, normal high school programming.
It was. But remember, they had C-Cubed experience now, solving real problems. They were getting good at, like, taking a huge mess and making sense of it.
So they show this program to the school. What'd they think?
They were blown away. Not only did it work, but it saved them tons of time. Used to be this, like, giant headache making the schedule. Now, boom, done. They even paid Lakeside Programmers Group. Small fee, but still, first official business right there.
So, success. Did they make more programs for Lakeside?
A few, but their time there was ending. Graduation, college, the next chapter. But that scheduling program, it changed something for them.
What do you mean?
It proved they had real skills, could make something that actually worked out in the world. Not just coding for fun anymore, solving problems, getting paid. It was like a taste of the future.
It's amazing. In just a few years, they go from that teletype to starting their own little software company.
It's wild, right?
Shows you what happens when you have that drive. Curiosity, taking chances.
It's all connected. Mentors, those random chances, even getting into a little mischief, all shaped their path. Always learning, pushing themselves. That's what makes a difference.
So what's the big takeaway here from this whole Bill Gates origin story?
Few things stand out. Mentors, for one. Teachers who believe in you. Dougal, right? They gave them space to explore, to mess up, to love learning. And Mrs. Rona, she saw something in Bill, connected him to, like, life-changing opportunities.
It's also about being open to the unexpected. Who knew a rummage sale would get them that first computer? Or a carpool ride would lead to, like, the best mentor ever?
Right. Sometimes the biggest moments, they come out of nowhere. Gotta stay open, see the potential, even when things go wrong, that wrong turn might be the best thing that ever happened.
And it's not the usual, like, genius kid becomes famous story. It's messier than that.
Way messier, more realistic. Success, it's passion, working hard, and always learning. Bill and his friends, they didn't just get lucky, they made it happen.
As we finish up here, it makes you think about our own WN lives. What weird little things, changed everything for us. What seemed bad at the time but turned out to be like a hidden opportunity. Maybe our next big adventure is just around the corner.
That's the perfect way to put it. Sometimes the best journeys are the ones we don't plan, the ones that just happen. The key is be curious, keep learning, and embrace the unknown.
Couldn't said it better myself. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Bill Gates' early years. And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and